Ladies and gentlemen, a luxurious house in Ghaziabad turned out to be the headquarters of a fabricated diplomatic mission, complete with fake passports, forged seals and even morphed photographs with global leaders. At the center of this web of deception is a man named Vardhan Jain, who ran a fake embassy for 3 years, duped hundreds through a Hawala and a visa racket, claimed to represent countries that don't even exist. From links to arms dealers to shell companies spread across the globe, this is one of the most bizarre, audacious diplomatic scams uncovered in India. Republic has accessed exclusive details in the sensational case. We're going to break it down for you in a short while from now. But just think about this. For years put together, this man that you see behind me was running the biggest diplomatic scam. And the world believed that such a country actually existed. Picked from the books and ensured that this actually stays there for the longest period of time. This man was being able to carry out this entire scam because there was someone behind this. The operation that was being led by someone else. All this while you've seen only this man. There is much more than what meets the eye. We are going to take you through each and every minute details of the investigation that has been carried out so far. But up first, take a look at all that we know so far.
12 diplomatic passports, forged documents with the seal of Ministry of External Affairs, 34 fake stamps of foreign nations and corporations, and over 44 lakh rupees in hard cash. All of this was seized from a luxury house in Ghaziabad, which was shockingly operating as a fake embassy of a fictional country called Westarctica.
This is a bungalow where basically an embassy was being run by this main accused. And in this case, what we have seen that the UPSTF have found several documents and they have seized 4 vehicles with diplomatic numbers. Here you can see the visuals over here outside this very bungalow. Here 4 vehicles were parked with diplomatic numbers and they were seized by the UPSTF team from Ghaziabad.
This was the headquarters of a massive diplomatic scam. And the man behind it, Vardhan Jain, posed as an ambassador running a visa and Hawala racket for 3 years. The fake embassy ran operations impersonating diplomatic missions of fictitious nations like Westarctica and Saborga. Jain used forged number plates, fake diplomatic IDs, and morphed photographs with global leaders to build credibility. Multiple fake embassies, forged seals, and an entire parallel ecosystem of phony visas and fake credentials. Even neighbors had no clue what was happening behind closed doors.
कई गाड़ी विदेशों वाली झंडे वाली गाड़ी होती थी ना, हाँ महंगी महंगी गाड़ियाँ, और विदेशों में जो झंडा लगता है ना, अपने जैसा झंडा होता है तिरंगा, उस तरह से जैसे दूसरे देश का झंडा होता है, तो उन मर्सिडीजों में सारे में झंडा लगा हुआ था.
During interrogation, the police also found out about Vardhan's connections with controversial godman Chandraswamy and international arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi. Not just this, the accused was arrested once in 2011 as well for carrying an illegal satellite phone.
ये अभियुक्त 2011 में भी एक बार गिरफ्तार हो चुका था. इसके पास से उस समय पे सैटेलाइट फ़ोन बरामद हुआ था और थाना कविनगर में उसके खिलाफ मुकदमा भी पंजीकृत किया गया था. 4 गाड़ियों के अलावा और उन पे लगी हुई नंबर प्लेट्स के अलावा और 18 नंबर प्लेट्स भी इसकी गिरफ्तारी के दौरान बरामद हुई है.
Jain is accused of enticing people with fraudulent overseas job opportunities while orchestrating a complex Hawala network.
You can see the visuals of his residence, and right now we will show you the visuals just outside his residence. Here you can see this is J.D. Jain's residence. Harshvardhan Jain's father, Honorary Animal Welfare Officer, Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India, Animal Welfare Board of India. So he is also part of the Animal Welfare Board, Mr. J.D. Jain, who is the father of Mr. Harshvardhan Jain, who is the main accused in connection with the case. Apart from that, what we have been seeing over here, that there's another vehicle. Here you can see the flag of one of the countries over here has also been written over here.
A case has been registered in Ghaziabad against Harshvardhan Jain for carrying out this illegal act and for keeping and making so many fake documents. The big question now is, was Harshvardhan Jain operating alone, or is there a bigger syndicate still at large?
You've seen the full story. Now let me take you through what are the details emerging from the investigation that has been carried out. Sources in the Uttar Pradesh STF have now confirmed to Republic TV that arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi's directly transferred 20 crore rupees to Harshvardhan Jain between 2002 and 2004. The STF has accessed Jain's financial records and is now probing the exact purpose of this high-value transaction. Sources also indicate that Jain has 20 bank accounts, 8 of them overseas, and was associated with at least 25 shell companies that was used to route money and run parallel illegal operations. Let me now take you through some of the details that have basically emerged from the investigation that has been carried out. Ladies and gentlemen, the first big breaking news now coming in is of an arms dealer. It's just not a fake embassy scam or racket that has been unearthed, but there is a direct link with an arms dealer. So what was this arms dealer really transferring money for? STF has basically accessed financial records, money trail that has been reviewed. Let's move to the second point. 20 crore rupees. That's the amount that has been transferred by arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi to Jain. In fact, I'm going to tell you in a short while from now why this arms dealer, a global arms dealer, would be sending 20 crore rupees to this man. We're going to put out the details in a short while from now. Let's move on. Started operations from home, then shifted to a luxury villa. 20 bank accounts found under the operations. These details coming in: 8 foreign and 12 Indian accounts under the scanner. 25 shell companies that have been linked to Harshvardhan. This, what you see on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, essentially indicates that there is much more than what meets the eye right now. And the fact is that this is not just about a fake embassy, but there is an arms deal link that is basically emerging at this point in time. We're getting in some more breaking news coming in on This Is Exclusive tonight. The only news network getting full details. The controversies will become bigger. Republic has now accessed the updated interrogation report of Harshvardhan Jain. Explosive details now link him to controversial Godman Chandraswamy, Saudi arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi and fraudster Ehsan Ali Syed. According to UPSTF sources, it was Chandraswamy who had introduced Harshvardhan Jain to both Khashoggi and Ehsan Ali during his time in London. The interrogation reveals that Jain and Ehsan Ali jointly set up multiple overseas shell companies in the UK, UAE, Mauritius and even Cameroon in Africa. The documents reveal their link to Ehsan Ali's firm, Western Advisory Group, a Switzerland and Bahrain-based entity that fraudulently secured £70 million in loans between 2008 and 2011. Let me now take you through some more details coming in with regards to the investigation that has been carried out so far. He basically partnered with one Ehsan Ali to set up overseas firms. 6 bank accounts that have been linked to Dubai. 1 account in Mauritius, 3 in the UK and 1 in India. Shell companies that were used for high-value brokerage in London. Ehsan Ali's firm secured £70 million loans fraudulently. So this loan that was being received into multiple accounts, they charged to about £25 million in fake commissions that were allegedly received. Ehsan Ali was arrested in London on Swiss government request. And Zurich court sentenced Ehsan Ali to 6.5 years for fraud. 2 big breaking news now coming in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do a quick recap of the 2 breakings coming in, brought to you by my colleague Akhil, who's got us this big exclusive. Akhil, I'm not too sure if you can show us the documents, but while we do that, I want you to first take us through who this arms dealer is, why exactly is Harshvardhan being linked to him, and is there a larger global racket that we are looking at? It's not an isolated case of Harshvardhan running a fake embassy here. There is a bigger picture. The bigger picture could be that there was an arms deal.
Absolutely, Shravan. If you see at this point in time, what we are seeing that the UP STF team is investigating this case on two different angles. First one is what was his links with a renowned arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi. Second angle, which the UPSTF team is probing, is about his source of his income generation. Because if you see the kind of money trail that the UPSTF team has got, in which it was pretty clear that there was a direct bank account transfer, money transfer from Adnan Khashoggi between 2002 to 2004. And that was a whooping amount of approximately 20 crore rupees. While I was speaking to a senior officer in the STF department, he has said that if you just calculate that money that was being transferred in 2004 as a 20 crore rupees, that will now become at approximately 80 crore rupees. So that's a big question, that what was the source of income and who basically gave that money to Harshvardhan and why he was generating that much amount of money and where that money was being used. Was it the Hawala money that was being transferred from one account to another account? So these are the questions being still been unanswered, which is being probed by the UPSTF. And second important point, which is to be highlighted, that based on the central agency input, what we have seen, Shravan, that the UPSTF has busted this racket. And if you see, for the last 10 years, what we are seeing that this person, Harshvardhan Jain, has been running successfully this fake embassy. But what has happened when his confidence got boosted up and then he has started this embassy just 6 months back outside his residence. He basically got a bungalow. He basically lives in B35 apartment, and then just next to 5 to 6 apartments from his very residence, he at B45 he rented an apartment in which he has started this this embassy. So right now, what we are seeing that the UPSTF team has gathered some more information regarding his international visits as well, Shravan. Because if you see, over 50 times in last 10 years, he has visited Dubai.
Akhil, I want to focus majorly. You know, the big breaking news now coming in. This is the biggest exclusive that Republic TV has got our hands on. A direct link, money transfer between arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi to Harshvardhan's bank account between 2002 and 2004. Adnan Khashoggi gave 20 crore rupees to Harshvardhan. UPSTF is probing for what was the purpose Harshvardhan actually received this money. Just for the benefit of our viewers, you are talking about one of the biggest global arms dealer, Adnan Khashoggi, being linked to this man, Harshvardhan Jain. And between 2002 and 2004, it turns out that he has received 20 crore rupees. What was the motive? That is not very clear at this point in time. But let me once again go back to my colleague Akhil, getting us the latest details. Akhil, I want to specifically focus on the role of Adnan Khashoggi. Based on what is the UPSTF indicating that between 2002 and 2004, Adnan Khashoggi had sent 20 crore rupees? Have they been able to perhaps trace the exact motive? What was the money used for? Or is there a larger security concern?
Well, Shravan, absolutely. If you see in this case, what we have seen that initially when the UPSTF broke this story, after that, what we have seen that initially the senior officers have said that initially there were just 2 accounts that were linked to Harshvardhan. But right now, what we are seeing that over the 48 hours, there were 20 different accounts, out of which 8 accounts are international bank accounts. So right now, what we have seen that the UPSTF team has written mail to different banks as well, abroad as well, to get the money trail details regarding this very investigation. And if you see, they have also written to the Indian agencies as well in connection with the case, because there are 12 different accounts that were being used by Harshvardhan Jain to do corrupt practices. And those corrupt practices are still under investigation and under scanner. Because if you see, Harshvardhan, during the initial interrogation of UPSTF team, has constantly maintained one single point, and that he was saying that this was his international business tours. That's why he visited several other countries, including, if you see, UK, he visited approximately 12 to 15 times. UAE, he visited more than 30 times. Mauritius, he visited France, Cameroon, Switzerland, Poland, Sri Lanka, Belgium. So these are some of the common countries that he visited over the past 10 years. So right now, more than 30 countries which he visited. So the UP STF team is trying to get to the details of his financial transaction, that what was the actual source of income of those transactions.
Well, in fact, that's the big breaking news. Now we are going to focus on Akhil. Republic has exclusively accessed Harshvardhan Jain's international travel records over the last 10 years. The scale of deception is staggering. STF sources have now confirmed to Republic TV that the accused visited Dubai 53 times in the last decade alone, and to travel to over 30 countries using as many as 12 diplomatic passports. His destinations include UK, UAE, Mauritius, France, Switzerland, Sri Lanka, Poland, Belgium, and there are several other countries too. What's more, the SDF has found that Harshvardhan Jain had made generous donations to his fictitious Micronation, raising serious questions about the money trail. With multiple diplomatic IDs, foreign travels and suspected shell firms, the UP STF is now probing whether these global movements were part of a larger racket, because it turns out, as my colleague Akhil was also pointing out, that there are 12 nations that he has already visited, and he's directly linked to an arms dealer. That's the big breaking news now coming in. Only Network with full details of this man, Harshvardhan Jain. There is much more than what meets the eye at this point in time. There's a larger racket that has been unearthed.